How you doing, everybody? We want to welcome you to another show of Urban Class 101. And if you haven't noticed by now, that this type of show is about growth and development and bettering each other. Okay, every day, one person at a time. Okay, but what I want to do is I want to let you guys know about the past subject that we had was on interracial relationships, and I asked for people to give their feedbacks and comments and things of that nature. But what I want to do is give a special thanks to Ms. Kim Warfield in Turkey. She said, "As a child of an interracial relationship, I embrace love between two people, regardless of background. Makes me wonder why people these days will still question it. Relationships are hard enough, right?" That's a good point. That's a real good point. So again, give me all your comments and suggestions. Trust me, I'll take them. None is negative. You understand? So I do appreciate it. So, but with that, with relationships, that brings us to another subject. Cheating. Why do cheaters cheat? And deception. Okay? But today I want to welcome my man Corey to the show.
Thank you for having me on the show, Dr. Scooby.
Right.
I love what you've done with the show so far. Excellent. I love the way it's going, where it's leading to.
Right on.
Great future.
Right on.
Peace
Right
out.
on. Right on. Well, look, welcome again, everybody, to the show. So, we're going to start it off. Cheating. Yes. Most of you out there right now either has done the cheating or being cheated on right now. Okay, be real with yourself. Okay, but again, it's deception. The bottom line is that you're lying and you're not being true. You're not being honest. Okay, so you have different reasons for cheating, and I know this. I'm not perfect. I've been in a situation on both ends of it, and we have different reasons why. But you know, we want to know what you think. So please comment. What you think?
Just like you said, I'm not saying cheating is necessarily right, but people have different reasons of cheating. Sometimes the relationship goes bland, sometimes it goes dull, and people find that as an excuse to cheat when it's not necessarily right, but they have their reasons for cheating. Sometimes excitement just kind of goes out of a relationship where people kind of find that they need to find a new thrill in their life, as where they need to just find new adventures and find new things. Sometimes somebody just needs something new, but not necessarily new, because as you engage into a relationship, a lot of people that cheated have forgotten that. And we're talking generally about married couples, generally speaking, because when people actually engage in a relationship, they forgot that their vows about thick and thin. So when this cheating line comes up, you got to think about through thick and thin, and how a relationship, if things in that case does start to die down and start to go dull, you got to know a way to fight through it and how to get through it and how to basically kind of spice up the relationship together. I mean, relationship's supposed to be fun. It's always supposed to be learning new things. That's why people say opposites attract, because I'm supposed to learn something from you. You're supposed to learn something from me as well.
That's right. Now, it's another point that I want to bring up. What do you think about individuals that needs aren't being met, and they think that going out and cheating is a legitimate reason? You know, what they say, well, look, my man ain't, he ain't handling home, and he ain't doing what he need to do. I need a maintenance man. What is that? What's your views on that?
Well, see, my view on that goes straight to the 80-20 rule. You ever heard of the 80-20 rule?
Explain.
Okay, now the 80-20 rule goes a little something like this. All right, you got your 80% at home, which is your wife, She's there for you. She's loyal. She does everything she got to do at home. She knows how to handle the business. But, some things are not being met, which, all right, it's not something that you can't fix. Then you got your 20%. Like your 20% is going to be that girl that's going to have 20% of what that wife is not doing, what you desire, what you need. But you can't father and go back home and say, hey, honey, look, I need you to try something now. I need you to try this out.
Right.
Which is easier and the end result in cheating. Am I correct?
You know, I
mean, you save yourself all the trouble.
Right, yeah, I can dig it. But listen, this is where we go. Now, we're moving on to this. Let's say, hypothetically speaking, you're married. And you're just out, and all of a sudden, you see Halle Berry. And she said, hey, hold on. All my clothes is off. I'm naked. This Halle Berry, right? And boom, there she is, butt naked, bucket naked, right there, booty, everything, right there. Okay. Now, but you're married.
Okay.
Okay. Now, explain that. Now, hold on. Before you do that, listen, America. I want you to really marinate females too. If you see what's his name, Kojo,
Denzel Washington.
yeah, all that. Yeah. You see, now keep it real. Don't answer yet. All right, now go ahead. Now, what you think?
Now again. That goes back to my 80-20 rule.
All right, come on.
Okay,
20,
we're gonna make Halle Berry the 20%.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Halle Berry. I mean, come on.
Dang.
If I saw Halle Berry dropping some drawers right there, I mean, that mindset is just gonna take you. You're just gonna lose all will, and that's just a power. That's a test of wills right there. You're supposed to think to yourself. I mean, hypothetically speaking, you're supposed to think to yourself and say, "Hey, listen, I got a wife at home. I can't be doing this." But in some cases, some people just don't allow. They don't think. They kind of react.
That's right.
Before actually thinking. In that case, people they just think about what they can get right now.
That's right.
Out of what they're doing, and they want that now feeling,
that instant gratification.
That instant gratification,
That's
exactly.
right.
That's what I was looking for. The instant gratification of what they can get right now out of what they want, how to satisfy themselves right now.
That's right. That's right.
When they got to think about the long run. Okay, you got Halle Berry right now.
Yeah.
Right? And she was dropping draws. She didn't even say she was going to do anything to you. But then you got your wife at home who could be doing the same thing. But, okay, Halle Berry dropping the draws. So you get to that point, and you're like, all right, screw my wife at home. Halle Berry dropping some drawers. So I need to be up on that right now.
Now here's a question, though. Do you think part of that is because of something new? You know, I remember this comedian saying being married is like having satellite TV, but with only one channel. You see what I'm saying? Basically, you can do whatever you want, but the picture don't really change.
But you know, it doesn't have to be that way. I mean, just like I was saying before, marriage is like a learning experience. You're supposed to explore things together. They have different classes to spice up relationships and stuff like that.
Right.
I mean, you don't have to be doing missionary every night. I mean, change it up every now and then. That's what the point of communication comes from. Don't think just because you want something that your partner's going to get offended, because that's what a lot of people get offended for. Because they might say, well, my wife is not doing this. Ask her to do that. You know? People.
That's a good point. Now listen,
ask her to do that.
Ask her to do it. So
you know, because some people are just
some things aren't necessarily taboo, and you have to understand that with a covenant relationship, what goes on between your doors, your closed doors between your walls and your home, ain't nobody else's business. So what do you worry about? This is your man. This is the person, or your husband, or your wife.
You're supposed to be satisfied
with. So that temptation is everywhere.
Absolutely.
Everywhere, all the time. But again, deep down inside, you have to really hold it down for the home team, and you have to take care of home. Wise man told me that. Now,
a lot of people lose focus.
Oh yeah, they lose focus. It's easy to lose focus. But now, what do you think about self-esteem issues?
Self-esteem issues come into big play a lot. A lot. A lot of people are ashamed of how they look and how their partner perceives them. And a lot of people cheat because they're like, all right, well, my partner is like a 10, and they might necessarily think that they're a 6. And they might say, well, my partner's too good to be with me. I know she cheating, so you know what? While she cheating, I'm going to do my thing too. But,
I can dig it.
Again, not necessarily right, but this is just the way people think. Again, I mean, me necessarily, I've never gone through that. I've never had self-esteem issues within myself, but this is just the way people think. And we have a problem, a big problem with self-esteem, especially in relationships, because self-esteem plays a big part as far as, like I was saying before, you not knowing what your partner's doing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not only self-esteem, but that's kind of like more of a trust issue.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, all right, I don't trust you, but I'm still with you. But the reason I'm with you is because I can't find nobody else.
See, and that's the issue. I really do believe that that's the issue with all of us. I mean, men, women. You know, it's almost to the point where, just in case, you know what I mean? Just in case. Hold on, look, I got my one, but I got my stragglers. You know, I got to have them on the side just in case, and that's not what it's supposed to be. Love is supposed to be, you know, you trusting and things of that nature. You have to give and receive.
Absolutely, just be real to yourself. Mm-hmm. I mean, a lot of people, they need somebody. You don't particularly need somebody.
Mm-hmm. Validation.
Validation. You just basically get to know yourself, know your self-worth, before you could actually go and venture off and join somebody. A lot of people are just looking here, all right, I'll just take this person right now, take what I got, and then they start to fall and they get all connected with them, and then they meet somebody else that's better, but they're only with that first person only because they had low self-esteem.
That's it.
They just needed somebody.
And that makes sense. It's almost like, how can you put yourself in a situation where you expect 100% out of a person, but you're only given 50% of you but you only know 20% of yourself.
Absolutely.
You know, that's some crazy math, but it makes sense. Well, how can you expect what you're not given? You know what I mean? Really take your time and think about that. Really think about that, man. Look,
just marinate on it.
Marinate on it. You know what I mean? As a matter of fact, with a little chaser. And that's all right. Hey, I want to thank you for coming to the show.
No problem. Thank you at all.
And this has been another show, another episode of Urban Class 101. But I do want to leave you with something. It's a quote that says, "One who is easily blinded is often blinded by the one they love." So, in other words, the red flags are there. The red flags are there. Some of us are blinded by love. You understand what I'm saying? But the flags has been all up in your face since the day started, since this relationship started. You agree with that?
Absolutely.
You agree with that? Okay. Again, I want to thank you guys. Please subscribe. Go to YouTube. Comment. Good or bad, it doesn't matter. And I will appreciate everything you do for us. Thank you. And have a good night.